Hello, welcome to TCB Online. Today I'm going to solve this problem of portal frame using moment distribution method. In the last moment distribution method sum that I had taken, it was also of a portal frame, but there was an inclined leg, and many of you asked me to solve a simple portal frame sum with a vertical leg frame. So let's start with this particular problem. It has a sway. As you can see, there is no lateral support here, so this frame is going to sway. All right, so this will also encounter some deflection, and due to that stresses would be formed into the frame. So let's start with the first step, that is finding the fixed end moments. So fixed end moment for MFAB is WB square A by L square, and negative because it's going to form an anti-clockwise moment here, right? This is going to deflect this way due to this force, and here an anti-clockwise moment would be formed, and here a clockwise moment would be formed. So MFAB is minus 9.6 and MFP is 14.4 plus 14.4 kilonewton meter. Then MFBC is just okay. MFBC is minus WL square by 12 since it's a UDL, and it comes out to be minus 12.5. MFCB is plus 12.5. Similarly, MFCD minus WB square A by L square, so it comes out to minus 20 by 9, and here MFDC is plus 40 by 9. Step 2 is finding the distribution factor. Since it's a moment distribution sum, we need to find the distribution factor, and distribution factor is found at the intermediate joints. These are the end joints A and D. A and D are the end joints, and B and C are the intermediate joints. So joint B and the members connecting to joint B are BA and BC. Okay. Then joint C, the members connecting to joint C are CB and CD. Right. The relative stiffness for BA, since the far end, that is the end A, is a fixed joint, therefore it has to be 4EI by L. Okay. 4EI by L. If it was a hinge joint, then it would have been 3EI by L. So 4EI by L comes out to be 16 by 5 EI. For BC again, C is considered to be fixed. That is basically a primary assumption that all the joints are except the end joints. All the joints except the end joints are considered to be fixed, and end joints are considered to be whatever they are. If this is a fixed, then it is fixed. If this is a hinge, then it is hinge. So since BC, the far end C, is an intermediate joint, it is considered to be fixed, and therefore the relative stiffness is 4 EI by L, which comes out to be 16 by 5 EI. We have to substitute the appropriate uh, moment of inertia of the member. Here it is 4I. And for CB again it is okay. We'll just add them up. So adding both these terms up, we get 32 by 5 EI, and then distribution factor is relative stiffness divided by total relative stiffness, which comes out to be 0.5, and here again it will be 0.5. For CB, relative stiffness is 4 EI by L again, since the far end B is also considered to be fixed, so it comes out to be 16 by 5. And for CD, again the far end D is fixed, so it is 4 EI by L. L is 3 meters and EI is just 1, so it comes out to be 68 by 5 when we add them up. Sorry, 68 by 15, and the distribution factor is 16 by 5 divided by 68 by 15, which comes out to be 12 by 17 for member CB and 5 by 17 for member CD. Okay, moving on to the next step, non-sway analysis. Since this is a problem in which there will be a sway, basically the deflection, horizontal deflection, it will be solved in two steps, two methods basically. First is doing the non-sway analysis and then doing the sway analysis. So in non-sway analysis, we consider that the frame is not going to sway, and we'll do the moment distribution iterations as we did previously, writing all the fixed end moments here, right? And now balancing step. First we need to check whether the end joints, that is A and D, if there is any hinge or roller support here. So we do not have any hinge or roller support, hence we do not have to balance these joints, that is if there was suppose a roller support, then this 40 by 9 we would have to release this 40 by 9 and make the total moment 0, because the roller or hinge are not supposed to carry any moment. But since both the end joints are fixed, so uh, we don't have to do the releasing of the moments. Let's directly jump onto the balancing step. Balancing is 14.4 minus 12.5, and then we change its sign. So 14.4 minus 12.5 was plus 1.9, and then we have to change the sign and write here. Again 12.5 minus 20 by 9 is plus 10.8, but then we have to change our sign and write it here as minus 10.28. The why we change this sign, I have already discussed this in a video of moment distribution basics. You can check that. And then you have the distribution step where we multiply the balancing factors with the distribution factor. So minus 1.9 into 0.5 minus 0.95, here again minus 0.95. Here it will be this into this minus 7.255, this into this minus 3.023. Carryover is basically this minus 0.95 would be carried over to A, and while carrying it over you will have to multiply it by half. So it's minus 0.475. This carried over to the next support C, this carried over to this support B, this carried over to the support D, and since there is nothing here, so basically it is 0, 0, and again here also it is 0. So zeros carry over here would be 0 only. Again this carry over here would be 0, right? This finishes our first iteration. Let's move on to the next iteration. Again starting with the balancing step. So balancing this, 0 minus 3.63 is minus 3.63, but then we have to change the sign and write it here as plus 3.63. Here it will be plus 4.75. Distribution, multiplying this by the distribution factors and writing it as it is. Then again carry over step. So basically we just have to do these iterations till we do not get a very small value like 0.0 something something. All of these values should be lesser than that. Okay, carrying it over to the next iteration. Balancing step, distribution step. So I guess now it is pretty much clear how these iterations go on. Then carry over step. So now we'll do one more iterations after this, because yet we have not got our small value here. So let's go for the next iteration. Balancing step 0.32 plus 0.042. Distribution step, and then carry over step. As you can see now we have got a fairly small value, so we can terminate our iterations, but the thing is that we cannot terminate our iteration on the carryover step. So we'll have to do one more iteration, and we always have to terminate our moment distribution iterations on the distribution step only. Okay, so we have to do one more iteration so that we can terminate it on the distribution step. So doing one more iteration, balancing, and then distribution. So here we terminate our all the iterations on the distribution step, and then we basically just add them up. All these blue values that you can see, you need to add them up, and then these are the non-sway moments. Since we have done the non-sway analysis, these are the non-sway moments that we have got. Okay, so these we will be using later on. Finding P force, this is one of the characteristics of these sway sums. you need to find the P force, and then you need to find one more Q force, which will be encountering later on. So what is the P force? P is the force which was not allowing your frame to sway. So basically I've just considered a imaginary support here. Okay, and because of this support my frame is not going to sway, and that is why we did the non-sway analysis. It was because of this imaginary support. So how much force would this support be taking? That is the basically the P force, and we need to find how much force is being taken by that support. So let's find it. For this we'll have to draw the all the free body diagrams basically. So column AB, these are the moments that we got from the moment distribution iteration just now that we did. MAB was minus 9.13, MBA was plus 15.333, and then there's this force here. Okay, so what we are basically doing is that to find this force P, I'll just apply the simple summation Fx equal to 0 on the entire structure to find this force P. So what will be this equation? It will be H1 plus H2 plus P plus 10 is equal to 16 plus 20, isn't it? So if by any way I can find this H1 and H2, I'll basically be able to find the P, right? And that is what we need to find. So for finding this H1 and H2, we are drawing this free body diagram of column AB. From column AB, I'll get H1, and from column CD, I'll get H2, right? So summation MB in this column AB, I'm be doing summation MB equal to 0. So it is H1 into 5 minus 9.13 plus 15.333 minus 20 into 2 equal to 0. From this I can get H1. Very easy. So I found H1. Okay, I need to find H2 now. For H2 I consider CD. Again, all the moments that we have got from the non-sway analysis, and doing summation MC equal to 0. I get H2. So I found H1 and H2, and then I can put it in the summation Fx equal to 0 equation, right? And basically we can find force P. So I found force P equal to 25.0715. This was the force that was required to stop the sway of my frame. So 25.075. Basically, what does this mean? That if this force is required to stop the frame from swaying, it also means that this is the force this is the total force which is applied on the frame, which is going to sway my frame. Okay, so it is shown in this direction because this is the force which was causing the sway of the frame. Now we'll move on to sway analysis. The next step, sway analysis. Remove all loads. Okay, in sway analysis you have to remove all the loadings. You have to give a sway, that is you have to basically deflect your frame, and then you have to write the moments what would be generated because of this deflection. So if you have seen my stiffness matrix videos, in that you will know how these formulas have come. Okay, these are the stiffness values. 6EI delta by L square. Basically, whenever there's a whenever suppose this is a fixed beam, and if this support settles down by an amount of delta, okay, then the reactive moments that are formed at the ends are of magnitude 6 EI delta by L square. Okay, and the direction would be, since this is trying to go upwards, okay, since this is a clockwise rotation, then the reaction here would be anti-clockwise, just to stop this rotation from happening. And again here it is a clockwise rotation that has occurred, so to stop this it will be again an anti-clockwise movement of the same magnitude 6 EI delta by L square. So if you see here, support B has settled down by an amount of delta. Okay, this is the sway that I have given it. Okay, delta is the sway that I have given. and the moment that will be generated here would be 6ei delta by L square. Since ei is 4i, so it will be 6ei 4i by L square. Again here anti-clockwise 6e into 4i delta by L square, right? Similarly here it will be 6ei delta by L square, since I is only one single I. Again here it will be 6ei delta by L square. No moment would be generated in BC because there is no support settlement for BC. C is not settling relative to B, neither B is settling relative to C. Okay, only the moments were generated in A, B and CD because B was settling in relative to A and C was settling in relation to D, right? Moving on, I'll substitute the length, that is L square. L was 5, so L square will be 25. Here L is 3, so it will be 9. And now I have to assume something. We'll assume a suitable value of EI delta. Say EI delta is 100. Okay, you can take anything that you want. I've arbitrarily taken EI delta as 100. You can take it as 1, 10, 20, 30, 1000, whatever you want. But 100 is a very good value to calculate with. So I'll take EI delta as 100 and now I'll substitute this EI delta here and finally I get the moments. So I got it as 96, 96, 200 by 3, 200 by 3. Okay. Now I will do sway analysis, again moment distribution sway analysis, and I'll write those moments which I found right now, 96, 96. So anti-clockwise 96 would be minus 96. Again, since this is anti-clockwise, it will be minus 96, minus 200 by 3, minus 200 by 3. For note here that for BC and for CB it is 0. Now again starting with our moment distribution iteration, that is balancing step. So it will be plus 96, here it will be plus 200 by 3. Then distribution step, multiplying this by the distribution factor. Note here that distribution factors remain same. Okay, you don't have to calculate again the distribution factors because they'll remain the same only. And then carry over step. By now this moment distribution iteration should be well versed to you, right? There's no need for a more specific explanation in this. Going on to the next iteration till we get a small value. Then distribution step, and then the carryover step. At any point of time you can pause the video and you can just verify all these calculations by yourself. I would suggest you to do that because that'll make you get involved more into the sum. Okay. Then the next iteration, balancing again. Till now we are not getting much lower value. Let's see. Carryover step. Moving on to the next iteration, balancing, distribution, and then carryover. Okay, so after 4 iterations we have got a fairly small value from what we started basically, and I would suggest you not doing more than 5 to 6 iterations because that will just unnecessarily make your sum more lengthy. What you can do is you can do 4 to 5 iterations and then you can stop. Okay, then you can terminate. So I'll be terminating after this 4th iteration, but I cannot terminate on the carryover step, so I'll have to do one more iteration, that is balancing, and then I'll terminate on the distribution step, right? And now we just sum it up everything, all the values in the blue. So these are your sway moments, these are your sway moments, and you'll be using them later on to find the Q force. So I hope you're getting how this sum is going. Basically, first we did non-sway analysis, then we found the non-sway moments from those iterations. We used those non-sway moments to find the P force, okay, to find the P force. Then we did the sway analysis, and we are using the sway moments to find the Q force. All right. So again, Q force, uh, it'll be a simply summation f of x equal to 0 here. So summation f of x equal to 0. So Q force is somewhere like this. This is a Q force. Okay. So Q will be equal to H1 plus H2. This Q force does not have a specific location. Okay, it is a horizontal force and it can be acting anywhere. It's basically an imaginary force, right? It's an imaginary force that we are finding. So it is H1 plus H2, and if I somehow find this H1 and H2, basically using the same technique that we used previously, I can find this force Q, right? So we'll proceed in the similar manner using the column AB and writing the moments that we found just now, the sway moments, and we'll find H1 by doing summation MB equal to 0. So H1 is 26.4955. Then taking the column CD and finding H2. H2 is 37.5654 kilonewton, and then doing summation Fx equal to 0, I get Q as 64.0609 kilonewton. So I have found P force, I have found Q force, and now final moments. Final moments are given like this. Okay. So P was 25.0715, Q is 64.0609. Final moment at any point would be the non-sway moment. That is, say if I want to find the moment at A, that is MAB. So it is non-sway moment of MAB plus P by Q ratio. That is this P force divided by the Q force. P by Q ratio into the sway moment of MAB. And when I just add this up, I'll get the actual moment of my actual moment that is occurring at A. Okay, so this is how we have to find the moments at every point A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D. Okay, so I maybe is non-sway moment. This is the non-sway moment, right? This is P by Q, P, Q, sway moment. This is the non-sway moment. Okay, so I hope you got this how to do the moment distribution method for a portal frame having a sway or basically a deflection, horizontal deflection. So I found for every point MAB, MBA, MBC, MCB, MCD and MDC, the check is that these two should come equal since there was no moment acting at that joint. Again, this should be equal, the intermediate joints, right? And then finally after this you have to draw the BMD. So BMD is not scope of this video lecture. I'll be showing how to draw a BMD in the next video lecture probably. So I hope you learned something valuable from this particular video lecture, and if you did, then please like this video and subscribe to my channel, and please share it because the more you share the more you learn. Thank you so much.